So, happy holiday, everybody. I did some upgrades. Honestly, I'm going to show you a map in a second, just real quick. I went and crafted my gear. I basically went to a phase 5 gear from the guide. I just did some changes. I'm trying out a Glorious Vanity, like a Divine Flash version, because somebody recommended. I think that's pretty cool. I'm 97 now, so I just went and, kind of finished the progression of the build. Gonna talk about that in a second. We're just gonna do a bit of a showcase because people like gameplay. Forge of the Phoenix, nothing crazy on it, a bit of live, a bit of crit stuff. And let's have a bit of a look. Said people like gameplay. I'm not gonna do all the league mechanics, especially not expedition. It takes a bit too long. You've seen me do so many expeditions. So yeah, in terms of where we are, these are still dangerous, by the way. And we don't want knockback. These blue altar guys, they are really bad. Let's be honest here. Or the ladies, essentially. I mean, it's the ladies, it's not the guys, but that also got me to upgrade my gear finally, right? I had an excuse to, okay, I'm gonna upgrade my gear now because I can actually die to these ladies there, right? So like if you have like one of these guys, how's it called? Harbinger, I think. They are kind of cool. I'm not sure if they're worth it. But yeah, you just plop down your things and then yeah, they die. So maybe we have a big essence here. It's not that big, but we can still maybe corrupt it to something like that. Throw some traps, right? Why are they not opening? Oh no, they're opening. They can be a bit tricky, right? You still have to be careful with them. Oh yeah, by the way, I can stand in these poison things again, almost at least. Some essences there. Let's get to the Phoenix, I think, so we don't waste so much of your time. In general, feeling very happy with the build actually right now, and especially with this Divine Flash variant. I don't think it's actually that much better if you stick to my progression. Like, you can do very fancy things with this Divine Flash thing, I believe, and make a very fancy version, but that would probably require, I mean not require, but lean towards more, yeah, a bit of a different build, almost I would say. It's an alternative. I'm gonna put you the POB down then anyway. But we're gonna talk about it in a second, so yeah. Just kind of quick clear of the map, didn't really full clear it, but I wanted to get to this guy here, so we just put our things down. Make sure we wither him, we focus, we don't die to explosion, and then, yeah, I think he's probably already dead. He should be already dead, and then you get a fragment. So yeah, that's kind of state of the build, I would say. You've seen some gameplay now, let's talk about it a bit in more detail, what I did do. So, I crafted my chest. Maybe overall, I'm a bit low on armor actually. Like my physical mitigation is not exactly where I want it to be, but that's mostly due to bases not being that great. I should have 1 to 1.5k more armor, more around 10k if you follow the guide and do what I say and not what I actually do. So yeah, I crafted my base. Or my chest piece on a pretty low armor evasion base, but I got it donated from a sweet person, so I figured it would be sad not to use the base. It wasn't linked or anything, but it was just like a fractured base. And I followed my own crafting video, like the chest craft video. I got really lucky with hitting double resist and a pretty low spell suppression roll, but still a tier 2. I'm okay with that, and yeah. I think within 50 essences or so, I hit double resist. So I didn't even have to do the whole put another resist on it. So that was super, super easy to do. Just did the Iceling, had it first try. So it's probably a 4 divine chest in total in actually investment. Like getting the Iceling, getting the suffixes cannot be changed. And then obviously had to link it still. But I did so much expedition that just using the crafting bench for fusings is not an issue. So we do have a chest now, did some low-level Eldritch things. I have some glyphs now that are pretty okay, I would say. They're fine, they're just like the basic recommended ones, low-level Eldritch stuff on it. I do have boots now, basically, that are also... I have the Chaos resistance here now instead of on my chest. because yeah, the chest already rolled with some resistance. I went for the onslaught instead of the chill immune, trying that a bit. And on my ring, basically, I had to just fix a bunch of resistance still, get it on there. Got a bit of a different amulet with a lot of attributes, like all the attributes are here. It's still a +1. So that's pretty much that. I also got 3 of these awakened gems here. I said they're almost level 3 now. I'm 97. I abused some of the 5 ways because they're so cheap. They're so cheap right now, and it really helps leveling up easily, right? And also get a ton of XP into your awakened gems. So if you're planning to do 5 ways, get your awakened gems first, right? That's a really, really good idea. Also, oh yeah, new belt as well. Running with, I really wanted to run with the regenerate 150 energy shield, because we're so close on energy shield with the specific variant here. The recharge energy shield with rare unique enemy, really, really cool. Got some more chaos resistance there as well. And as you probably noticed, I have a ton of chaos resistance and not so high fire and cold max rest now. Obviously spell suppression kept, right? But, and that is because of some weird text somebody suggested, and I wanted to try, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna put it into the guide because all the gear, the requirements get so fuzzy and so weird that it's not suited for the guide part, I think. But the idea is you get a glorious vanity that has some number sacrificed in the name of Xibaka, probably. I think any of them work. And that turns this keystone here into Divine Flash, and the thing says, okay, all damage goes through energy shield, which we don't care of because of Eldritch Battery. And it also says like 50% of elemental damage taken as chaos damage, +5 maximum chaos res. You can probably read yourself. But in combination with the chest, by the way, we get up to 81 chaos resistance. Also means we need more chaos resistance on gear. There are other ways to do this. There's some implicit to do that, but I chose to do it straight on gear. So now that means instead of having more max res stuff here, with all of this, basically we save a bit of points. It's not that many points you actually save, but it's like 3 points. It's 2 points actually. No, 3. It's roughly 3 points you save here, but you also lose a jewel socket. So it comes out very similar, honestly, to the guide version in terms of defenses. But yeah, that's why I needed more chaos resistance, essentially. As I had also leveled up, so that means I have like all the damage nodes now. Yeah, you could drop some damage and get even more max res on your elementals here and some more armor. That might be actually a better way. But I'm kind of liking it this way, so this should be 5 to 6 million DPS, roughly, according to BUB, if you don't focus and have no Wither on them, and with both of them, it's, I don't know, it's getting close to 20, it's like 16, 17 million DPS or something. So it's enough, it's absolutely enough, especially in a bossing setup. Bossing setups are still the same, by the way. So yeah, that's pretty much how the character looks. Did I forget anything? Not really, right? I mean, in terms of further progressing the character, I still have this node because I'm just missing 6 decks or just 1% of spell suppression. This node is annoying me a bit. I'm at 99% without it. So yeah, maybe in the future, if I really want to, I could reroll this spell suppression implicit with like higher, how they called? I need to check how they called. Higher ones of these ichors, like get like the big ichors, and roll spell suppression again. Might be a bit expensive. That would actually just already save this node. And then what you could do is maybe even regret these 2. Then I have 3 nodes left over, right? And with 3 nodes, you can do things, right? You could take these for a jewel socket. You could take a jewel socket here maybe and get like a Watcher's Eye in. But that's like minimal fiddling around, you know. I don't think it's necessary. And for me, to be honest, except for tiny improvements you could still do, or I could still do, and I don't know if I will do that. Oh, by the way, I still have the wrong flasks on. Oh god, what am I doing here? Wrong flasks. Way better. Okay, map showcase mode with wrong flasks. It's probably fine. That was my bossing flask. I'd have more health flask in that case. So yeah, other than that, I think I'm not planning to upgrade the gear any further. at least not in a meaningful way. I feel like this is a version I'm happy with. A version I'm gonna keep and just call it a day, to be fair. That's fine for the league. In terms of, sorry about that, in terms of what to do in the league, I had a bit of a look into challenges, right? Like what kind of challenges are there? And some of them are quite brutal, to be honest. Like getting 38 this time isn't, 38, you still need 38 to have the full set. Seems a bit tedious in a bunch of these challenge things here, especially considering maybe you get the million anyway. So that's probably, is that just a million? Why is there no dots there? Yeah, it's a million, right? So I'm halfway there. It's quite a long way actually to do that. Let's see, maybe somehow this can be done. Because the grand goals, they're kind of insane, like always. Don't see myself investing that much time. So that's one I'm not gonna do. That's 39, and then I can, if I do this one, then I can maybe get rid of some of the insane challenges, especially. I can't even find it. It's so hard to find anything here. There's some with the Sanctum that are really brutal for certain characters, I feel like. So I don't know if I want to do so many of these challenges where you have to complete a Sanctum in very specific ways and you have to run 32 maps in order to even try that. I don't know. We will see. I might do that. I might start a new character, a pure bossing version. I already got some of the gear around, like an actual bossing version of the character, because a lot of people are asking for like a really, really big bossing version. And there's no need to go this complicated for a pure bosser, right? This is not supposed to be a bosser. Even though most people think it's a bosser, to me it's not. To me it's like an all-round league starty, feel-good build that I really enjoy. It's not a bosser. If you want to be a bosser, honestly, go double Cold Iron Point, double Minx, +2 or +4 chest in terms of gems, and then be squishy and deal like 30 million DPS, basically, without doing all the fancy things, and you just nuke everything. That's probably, I might start a progression one for that. Maybe not. We will see. Maybe I just go play World of Warcraft Dragonflight Arena, because that stuff is out and it sounds really interesting as well. So yeah, I put here the current PUB. I will not be changing the guide. The guide phase 5 will stay exactly as it is, because I think it's way more new player friendly, way more handheld. This specific one is kind of cool, but it's very fiddly with resists and attributes, and I don't want people to do that. That's kind of weird, but some inspiration. If you want to try, get Divine Flash, really fancy. Also seen people getting a Thread of Hope in here, with a large radius. You can snack a bunch of these points. You can play around with that. Or you just keep in mind that you don't need to upgrade a build to infinity unless you wanted to do something it can't do yet, right? Cool. Happy holidays, everybody. See ya. Bye.